Sunny ways, my friends, sunny ways.
This is obviously a real torpedo in the side of HMCS Sunny Ways.
And I think today is the day the Sunny Ways died.
Sunny Ways left us far too soon. Gone, but not forgotten.
You know what they say, Ryan? The brightest stars burn out the fastest.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thanks. I found it on Pinterest.
Welcome to Backbenchers, your bi-weekly snapshot of Canadian politics. I'm Ryan Maloney.
I'm Mohammed Omar. For the past couple of weeks, there's been one big story engulfing federal politics, the SNC Lavalin controversy. With so many twists and turns, it's been kind of difficult to keep up with what's going on. So we've come up with 5 easy parts to get you up to speed. But be warned, this is Game of Thrones level exciting.
Oh, I doubt that.
Part 1, the Bombshell Report. This whole thing began earlier this month with a bombshell report from the Globe and Mail, alleging that senior members of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's office pressured Jody Wilson-Raybould, when she was Attorney General, to help SNC Lavalin, a major Quebec company, avoid a criminal prosecution, and that she was demoted to Veteran Affairs Minister because she refused to go along with it.
Part 2, Trudeau's response.
The allegations in the Globe story this morning are false.
Her presence in cabinet should actually speak for itself.
Part 3, the resignation. And just hours after Trudeau said that, Wilson-Raybould quit.
It was her responsibility to come forward to me this past fall and highlight that directly to me. She did not. Nobody did.
She said she can't speak about this in public because of solicitor-client privilege, and that she was lawyering up in a big way with a former Supreme Court justice to find out what she is able to say in public.
Part 4, the opposition wants answers. The opposition demanded that the Justice Committee launch a full investigation into this and invite Wilson-Raybould to testify. Now, Liberals on that committee basically shut that down, but days later, Wilson-Raybould did agree to testify before the group.
I hope that I have the opportunity to speak my truth.
Part 5, no ifs, ands, or buts. The Justice Committee also wanted to hear from Gerald Butts, Trudeau's principal secretary, his right-hand man, his best bud, the Sean to his Corey. Except Butts resigned. He denied all the allegations in the Globe and Mail story and said he was stepping down so he doesn't, quote, distract Trudeau's office from doing its vital work. Because resigning on a holiday Monday isn't distracting enough.
So we're filming this on Wednesday, February 20th, and as of now, those are the biggest developments so far.
Thank you for that.
Now that was a lot to absorb, so let's take a brief pause, let it all sink in, and then we can move on.
So what does this all mean? Well, we've brought in the big guns to help us make sense of this mess of a story. Our Ottawa Bureau Chief, Althea Raj. Hi, Althea.
Thanks for joining us.
Hi, guys.
Althea, this controversy has now cost Trudeau his closest advisor. Why is it such a big deal that Gerald Butts is no longer part of the Prime Minister's inner circle?
Nobody has been as close to the Prime Minister or any Prime Minister than Gerald Butts has been to Justin Trudeau. He has been at Justin Trudeau's side for the past 27 years. Without Butts kind of crafting the narrative of the election campaign, who steps in to fill his shoes? That's a really big question. And if he is still involved in the campaign, is that politically risky if no conclusion has yet been found in this whole Jody Wilson-Raybould, SNC Lavalin, Gerald Butts, Justin Trudeau saga? So it's like a really huge deal that the Prime Minister is now kind of like out there flying without his parachute.
SNC Lavalin is a huge Quebec company. How does that factor into all of this?
This story is not playing the same way in English Canada as it is playing in Quebec, and especially in Francophone Quebec. And the SNC Lavalin issue and the government possibly mulling the idea of giving SNC Lavalin a deal is not seen as a bad thing at all in the province. In fact, people are kind of wondering, like, well, of course there would be cabinet discussions about this. Why wouldn't there be? Quebec landscape is going to be a key battleground. If the Liberals hope to maintain their majority, it's going to be decided in Quebec. If they think that they can actually win seats in the province, they have 40 now out of 78. And if they hang on to power, it's possibly going to be decided in Quebec.
Okay, thanks so much for joining us, Althea.
Thanks for making us feel smart.
Oh, thanks, guys. Anytime. Love to see you.
So although it's too early to tell if this will have any lasting damage on the Liberals, if it is proven that the government interfered in a criminal case, this could lead to some serious complications for the party.
And of course, the opposition is already painting this as the ultimate corruption scandal.
The actions of this government are actions of a government and a prime minister who have something to hide.
But for these Liberals, there's two sets of rules. One set of laws for the wealthy and the well-connected, and another set for everybody else.
But at the heart of this entire mess is a teeny tiny legal clause that was introduced into law a year ago. And if you feel like you've never heard about this, you're not alone.
It's a super catchy tool known as the Remediation Agreement, and if you think the name sounds exciting, just wait until you hear the deets. Remediation agreements are also known as deferred prosecution agreements, and even the word sent a tingle down my spine. They've been described as a kind of get-out-of-jail-free card for white-collar crime that lets corporations accused of certain wrongdoing pay financial penalties but avoid a trial that could sink and bankrupt the whole company. SNC Lavalin lobbied hard for exactly this kind of change. In 2015, the company was charged after it was accused of using bribery to score government contracts in Libya. Now, remediation agreements already exist in the United States, United Kingdom, and several European nations, but not in Canada, not until last spring. You may have missed it because the changes to the criminal code allowing such deals were quietly introduced in a 582-page budget bill. It's kind of like how I snuck a line into my wedding vows that Saturdays are for the boys. The changes caught MPs off guard, including Liberal Greg Fergus.
It does leave an uncomfortable taste in my mouth, and we seem to be letting off people in white-collar crimes with a little slap on the wrist.
Liberals have said the move was all about harmonizing with our allies, and SNC Lavalin never received the deal. But there is something ironic here. Liberals promised to do away with omnibus bills. That's where you make several changes in one massive piece of legislation. Conservatives used to love them. One of their omnibus bills clocked in at a whopping 880 pages. But Liberals call that stuff undemocratic. In their 2015 platform, they said omnibus bills prevent Parliament from properly reviewing and debating their proposals. They promised to be different. And now they need to explain why, when it seems like few were paying attention, they did the very thing that they once condemned.
So you can expect this to be top of the agenda in Ottawa for weeks, if not more.
The Ethics Commissioner has already launched a full investigation into this matter, so there will be many updates still to come. The story is not going away quickly or quietly.
So to keep up with the latest on this story, check out HuffPost.ca or find us on our YouTube page. Thank you very much for watching. We'll leave you now with my favorite moment from the last 2 weeks.
And Jeff O'Neill walks right in front of the shot as we're interviewing the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, thank you very much for joining us today. Get back to the more important things of running the nation.